Greetings, everybody. I hope everybody is doing really good. And, but you're not watching this video for the niceties. And this is going to be controversial. I know it's going to be controversial. I try my very best to be like proper and correct and like people. I'm so sick. Let me tell you something, y'all. Christianity is the devil. Fight me. Christianity is the devil. Because no matter which way I try to scramble them eggs and think like, oh, if they have a great balance and they have a great parental in the nuclear, all that stuff, that's not really most of our reality. And that's the reason why I don't like when people online make very clear statements that is hitting to the home of their message. And then there's always that straggler that says, not all. No, it's not all, but it's always, come on, let's get with it. Christianity is the devil. Let me tell you what brought me to that. I took some time. I haven't watched a good podcast in a long time. I used to watch there's a few that I like their content. Like I'm an Amanda Seales person for many reasons, right? She's Caribbean like me with American sense. We're fully aware of the sensibility that we needed to have to survive to this mature age in America, coming in with all the stuff that America already had and contained and never fixed. Okay? All our grandmothers' lives. And I watched the episode of Keke Palmer's interview of Nia Long. Now, prior to me getting to watch the actual full interview, I had seen a few snippets. So in my mind, I was like, she's such a Scorpio. Like, I didn't even know. I was like, she's giving me Scorpio vibes. Turns out she's a Scorpio. Yeah, I know women well. And, and they were talking about, like, all this layering that happens to us in America, right? And I resonated a lot with a lot of that layering because I was the firstborn Umuada of Caribbean parents that married practically as children. They were brought to America. Okay? I came early. I came like early on in my childhood. I was just still like a little child, small child when I came to America. And then even within being in a large clan of family, taking more after my African side than my Madras side. That hyper religiosity that I grew up with, it was nothing but the devil. It did nothing good for me. It literally, and this is not a thought I just like had today in 2026. Absolutely not. This is something that I have given good thought to over the last like 25 years. Okay. And it's nothing but the devil. Shout out to my former pastor, Asopovo. Greetings, sir. But yeah, Christianity is the devil. That is the devil. That's the devil. That's the devil in every form, shade, color, hue. It literally was and all my thoughts over the years was like, wow, where did that come from? Wow. Oh, that's where it stemmed from. Wow. I was terribly bullied as a child when I was in elementary school. I didn't have older siblings or anything like that. And then my older relatives, they were busy, like, I had to find out so much on my own. And patriarchy had its hand on the women in my life that had an opportunity to nurture and care, and they chose not to. In real time, all of them. If this stings a little bit, I might be talking about you. Okay. If you an aunt or cousin or somebody like that, because I know y'all be watching my videos and y'all just be quiet about it, but that's okay. Because let me tell you something, what I found out. I am Umuada. I am that person in my clan. Everybody knows me. I don't know everybody. And that is a dangerous thing. That's a dangerous thing. Let me tell you why it's dangerous. Because people will be jealous of you. They will be actively sending negative energy your way. And you just be thinking like, oh, they're my family. Oh, they love me. They don't even love themselves. How can they love you? You know? That's why all that self-love, that stuff is very, very important. You gotta find it. And you're not gonna find it running goddamn 75 miles an hour, working 40 plus hours at your job, taking care of the children and the adult child at your home, and giving your church 15 hours a week on the weekend. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna be stitching on the dirty wig on top of them braids and stuff like that. You're gonna be thinking all of that stuff is okay, and it's not okay. That's why y'all can't get released from the shackles of of the wigs. You cannot get released from it. I became released from the shackles of the wigs when I took a major sabbatical and a major timeout. I had to take such a timeout. Oh my God. Like a timeout where I didn't worry about nobody else but myself. Let me tell you something. In my Caribbean community, I became the devil. Those people. Okay? I did. I did. And eventually, when I came back, the new wife appliance, she asked me, she was like, what was you doing while I was taking care of? I said, sis, I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you to. No. The only person that made you is the one who needed the wife appliance. But I didn't come on here to talk about that. I came on here to talk about how Christianity is the devil. I have repeatedly in the past had conversations with people, some related, some are just acquaintances, strangers, and they want to just drape Jesus all over you. Baby, if Jesus is what's doing it for you, that's wonderful. I'm not even against that, right? I thoroughly, personally, I believe he is one of our most influential ancestors. That's how I see him. He was a very great person, right? And all these people that call themselves Christians, they are not Christian in any, they are very horrible human beings. They have poor character. They don't protect the children. They don't give a shit about their community or the water or the environment or the agriculture or the soil or the air we breathe. They don't care about nothing. Christian, my foot. Oh, I is a bunch of goddamn waste, man. Get out of here. Y'all is a bunch of liars. In Jesus' name. Stop it. Stop it. You are part of the problem. That's what I'm realizing. You are part of the problem. Right? Christianity is what we give him, what gives the toxicity, it's like the fuel to toxic patriarchy. That's what Christianity's like. It's like the fuel you pumping. You know the one that costs $7 a gallon right now? That's what it's like. That's what it is it not? Come on. Are you disagreeing with me or are you agreeing with me? Christianity, religiosity, that is what been making women settle down as feral and free as we truly are. We are the leaders. And that make you sit down and lay down and think somebody who can't even keep his wanker out of his hand, he is the person who is leading you? Are you okay? You cannot be okay. Christianity is the devil. And we really, really, and you know what you're gonna see? This is how I know I'm a change maker. Because I have literally seen things become part of some kind of policy after I have either spoken about it, enacted it, whatever, wrote a paper about whatever, right? Besides me, I don't know. Okay? The same way how it becomes like practically like illegal for you to identify your group the way that they want to see themselves identified, but they doing wicked stuff on the face of this earth. That is how they're going to start handling this right here. What I'm talking about. We're talking because you're watching this video. Okay? You're not going to be able to say a bad word against Christian. You know why? Because it allows things to stay bad. It allows things to stay dangerous. It allows things to stay abusive. And y'all don't like truth. Y'all don't like truth. This is what the Rasta men have been talking about all their religious career. It's truths and rights. That's probably the boot camp y'all need. Somebody need to create a boot camp for some of the men walking around us here in society. You need to go to a truths and rights boot camp. You need to go to a 2-week bingy in the mountains. No sugar, no phone. And I say what I'm saying because I have every right to say that, right? I've birthed 2 of them. If you already know how I feel about that. I've birthed 2 of them. I love them dearly. My little one, he won his soccer game yesterday, 5-4. Right? The other one, has a soccer game too, and track and all of that. Like, what? You know where all of that heartache and stress, it came from Christianity. It came from watching my mother submit to someone that probably wasn't going to be the best person to submit to or even deserved it or probably was in the position to expect submission because she had the brains. All the black women I know, they be knowing. We actually say that to each other. I'd be like, tell that to yourself later. You be knowing. Because we be knowing stuff. What do we not know? What do we not know? I went to a bingo game one day. Listen, I was in this bingo hall. This Caucasian sister invited me out. I went. We had a good old time. You hear me? Until the sisters was like, shh. You know why? Because those are space scientists. Those are who can run this government with efficiency. You see them women that go to them bingo halls and they operate in 50 sheets and pull out cards and then raffle on this and all. Baby, they got 65 things going on at one time in 60 minutes. You can't tell me that they can't run everything. But patriarchy, racism, but patriarchy. That's the most dangerous one. Because racism is just ignorance all the way together. It's just stupid. It's stupid people. It is stupid people. Yeah. Yeah. And let me tell you, I feel like I am way more than qualified to talk about this because I try my very best to function in an industry that is so racist. I'm an interior designer specificator by trade. And then on top of that, I come from a country called Guyana. And Guyana, of all the slaves that have been brought there, because some of them, they don't think they slaves, right? They think they're not descendants of slaves. But they are. And it's okay. It's all right. Fight me. I don't care. Because the truth is gonna set us free. What are you talking about? They trying to end your life anyway. Have you eaten any real food yet in the last 3 years in America? Stop it, I beg. Right? Like, East Indians and Guyana being racist is the most ignorant, stupid, low vibrational, uneducated, illiterate, foolish behavior to have. Like, what? They're so silly. They're so silly. Listen, I got family members that are married to some of them. They think Oprah is a bad person because she's wealthy and she's a black woman. What? You married to somebody like that? But of course you are. Because you don't like yourself. What? Right? Like, it is, like, racism with itself, it's just a level of, like, ignorance that racist people just, you know what I love? I love when I meet, I could feel it right away. I love when I come into contact with my white brothers and sisters that you could tell they gave up the ghost. They're like, this is not benefiting me. And we could have a great conversation, and we have a great conversation. I love that for them. Because I think it's everybody's right to evolve into being better people and better human beings and stuff like that, and to care about all humans, all breathing men and women because we could all have that whole dialogue about who's human and all this other kind of crap. Like, things are bad. Things are bad right now. Things are bad. And you got to hold on to your joy. You got to hold on to your happiness and your joy. And you got to luxuriate. I always be talking to y'all women about what y'all doing for yourselves and all of that. Feeling good and all that other kind of stuff. Right? Making sure your skin feels good, and that your bedding feels good, right? Yeah, Christianity is the devil. And I can't wait until all the black women fully bankrupt the religious systems here in this landmass that we're on. All they need is for all of y'all to stop going just for like 2-3 Sundays. You're going to see they close down. And they should close down. You know why they should close down? All the churches should close down so they could focus on how they're going to help their communities build back up economically. So they could create groups and support groups and camps and training programs for the men so they could actually be useful and get back some of their muscle mass because they lost that, I can't stand a 35-year-old man that want to sit down with a video game. I remember, I knew that was a sign that the end of my marriage was near. The minute my ex-husband wanted to go and hang out with a friend to go and play video games. I was like, what? That's how I knew something wasn't right. Now with clarity of hindsight, that was the juju that his mother was working on. You tell her I said that shit. Oh man. Because there's some of us who have yet to make the babies. If you decide to, you don't have to. It's not obligatory. You don't need to make any babies. There's plenty of motherless children here on this earth right now. But if you decide to do that, your only chance of becoming a grandparent is to make sure that the ones you bring here have a fighting chance of being able to safely interact with others and mate, right? You see that horrible. This is why I can't be on this social media chat, because let me tell you something. That story with that man finish all them children that he make a 7 or 8 picnic. 7 or 8, and you just done them. You finish them out. Then picnic don't know already what color is their favorite color. They already been to the playgrounds. They know what their favorite candy is. They know who they could beat in a race. I'll start crying. I'm not going to. That's what I'm trying to say. Christianity is the devil. Because the fundamental things that we need as a society, it's sucking up all the good working energy. I'm gonna plug a product that I sell. I sell a product called creatine. And you can go and do your own research. But let me tell you, because the first time I used the creatine, like the first couple weeks, anytime I used it, I used very little, maybe like a half a scoop of it. I would put it in my coffee, right? And I noticed how it was helping me from like feeling sore and stuff like that. And in the recovery from my exercise and my stretch therapy and stuff like that, right? Because I'm technically still in recovery from um from the health things that I made sure that I took care of, right? And because I'm really an academic person, right? I'm really about like learning, right? I conversationally know about 4 or 5 languages, maybe 6, right? There's very few people I could like not interact with. But that is because I chose to educate myself, right? Education is really, really important. Now, I'm not saying for you to just be getting a whole bunch of these degrees and stuff like that, because you didn't care, right? Racism, it's not even gonna matter, right? But how it is that you want to utilize it is going to be really, 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 really important. And being an academic forced me to go down the rabbit hole of trying to understand what creatine was about. And I remember I listened to 2 intellectuals talk about it too. And they were talking about like what an ideal dosage is and all of that. Now, creatine is really, really important, because if you're an academic person, but think about it, because I just told you all the things that women are doing all week long. This is why y'all don't need to be up in the church, because your children need you. You need to be sitting down going over their homework with them, right? You need to. You're married to a man and he speaks a different language, and you listen. That blows my mind how women could be married to a man for 20 years and you don't speak his language. What? What does he have to hide that he made you so comfortable not to learn? You need to be learning languages, right? You need to be learning about development. You need to be learning about all the 20, 50 million ways that they are trying to poison you and kill you so you could die young as a woman, especially as a black woman. You cannot do those things or have the brain capacity to do it if you're working 45 hours with this racist woman here. That's get her she ain't be at home anyway. Right? And then you come to take care of all them picnic that somebody else helped you to get. And they don't want to help and do their they're not even supposed to be doing their shit. They're supposed to be doing all the work. They couldn't catch me nowadays to go and make a baby. You take care of all of it. I think the first like 3 years, that is fundamental. Right? Even the Bible gives you them kind of like number signage where they speak about children and going on and stuff like that. But I'm also concerned too because I feel like they were like low key telling us about children going into pedophilia, but whatever. We're not going down that road, of course. Right? I think after you done give him good bobby and you give him the good nourishing foods and you take the baby for going and run and all of that and he see you looking after him and you love him up and everything. Yeah. Because then nighttime he daddy coming to look for what he coming to look for. Right? Then you got the insatiable people on Sunday. They want all your free time. All your free time. How y'all gonna educate yourselves and you on that hamster wheel? Mm-mm. You're not gonna be able to. And then have the capacity to do it. And that's the reason why you have to find out like what it is can I do that's gonna help me. And creatine is one of those products. I think creatine is great. Like you literally will have the wherewithal to go to that mat Pilates class in the evening. You will. You know. And you got to take care of yourselves, ladies. Find time to go and soak in the tub. Just soak or rub up your skin. Yeah. You know, there's a video. I don't know if I've posted it yet or not. But it's about women. I made a point about, in working in interior design, how, you'll hear these wealthy women complain about all the tasks that they have that's expected of them around the holiday season. And I said, Caribbean, we don't want to hear about that. All we know is work. We come from a colonized country, right? That in Guyanese culture is like seen as some kind of virtue. That's what they listen. If they not talking about how hard you worked at your funeral, have you lived? were you even a community member? Were you even a community member, friend? If you didn't walk, W-U-K, if you didn't walk hard. Sometimes I just gotta force myself to go and lay down and rest. This is a forcing. So you know what I did? I did my journaling. Because I'm actively always working on healing my inner younger girl. Okay? So I can know how to deal with y'all adult ass bullies. Have a good day.